Hey guys, Vladimir here. Remember my Twisty Vase contraption I built? Well, I did some upgrades to it that I wanted to let you know. So the first thing I did was, I always thought from the beginning it would be really cool if this was constructed out of copper pipes instead of the aluminum extrusions. So I went ahead and did that. The aluminum extrusions were mainly just meant as a quick prototyping idea, and it was great for that. The second upgrade I did was I installed a limit switch here, and the reason for that was because with this one, every so often the timing would get out of whack, and I would have to reset it. With the limit switch, it allows it to tell it where its position is every cycle, so it'll just run continuously without needing to ever be reset. And then the final upgrade I did was that I used an Adafruit Circuit Playground board instead of the Arduino Uno. And the main reason for that was that the Circuit Playground comes with LEDs already installed in it, so it made the assembly just a lot quicker and well, simpler and just tidier. So okay, let's take a look at the new design. After determining my lengths, I used a pipe cutter to cut my pipes down to size, and then did a dry fitting just to make sure everything lined up and fit properly. Next, I took a Brillo pad to polish the pipes, and this brought about a really nice shine to them. I debated whether to solder these, but at the end I decided to just go with Gorilla Glue to attach the pipes together. In order to run my wiring through the interior of the center column, I drilled a hole through this T-fitting. After confirming a few measurements and running my wires from my servo motor and my limit switch, I went ahead and attached this center column. I sawed off the top and bottom brackets of the servo motor so that it would fit inside the pipe fitting. Then I designed the servo mount along with this pulley, printed and spray painted both of them. Notice that I glued the pulley to this servo arm. I painted these a copper color that I had. This is the finished assembly of the servo mount along with the pulley. I also designed and 3D printed this mount for my limit switch, which I press fitted into the mount. I then used Gorilla Glue again to glue the mount into the pipe fitting. I soldered my servo and switch to an Adafruit Perma Proto board. I was originally going to use an Arduino Uno, but then decided on the Circuit Playground board from Adafruit, mainly because it has LEDs already built in. However, I didn't want to use alligator clips, so I designed and printed this ScrewTerminal block for the Circuit Playground, which allowed for more sturdy connections. I'll leave a link below to the design tutorial for this model. This resulted in a much cleaner assembly, but I could even tidy this up a little more by tucking the perma board under the terminal block. For the clear base, I cut a piece of acrylic on the table saw and did the same thing with the wood platform underneath. I then used a grinder to round off the edges and a drill press to cut the half circle in the center. I wanted easy access to my circuitry, so I decided I was going to go with a hinged mechanism here on the acrylic base. To do this, I simply used some copper tape that I had, which did the job and kept the look consistent. I needed a way of keeping the inner container stationary while the top container spins, so I designed this part and hot glued it to the acrylic base. Here's a time lapse of the inner container being printed. I also have a video tutorial of this model, so if you're interested in designing your own, I'll leave a link on the description. And finally, to get this snapping action here, I used a dowel to hot glue an M3 nut to the bottom of this container and inserted a magnet inside this 3D printed casing. All that's left to do now is simply plug in my Circuit Playground and I have light and action. I took this project to a local maker fair and it really brought a lot of attention to my booth. Everyone walking by was just so curious as to what the heck was going on with this thing. So I'm going to leave links below to all the design tutorials and STL files just in case you want to build your own. And if you do, definitely let me know because I'd love to check it out. Also, if you're interested in learning how to design with Fusion 360, check out my website, desktopmakes.com. where I have some online video courses for you to get started with. Alright guys, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy this and want to see more projects like this. Take care.